this
Which
game.
one? Who do you want?
I'll take green if you're okay with that.
Sure. Yes.
All right, so Popeye is bringing with them Iron Duke, Vladivostok, Scharnhorst, Marco Polo, and a Texas.
That's what you're asking for, right? Didn't you want to see an Italian battleship?
I did, but not a Marco Polo. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. On TDF, you've got Massive B Atlantico Turpits with the same spawn problem.
Mm-hmm.
Julio Matsu. I'm starting to think
might be coded in the game.
Well, I think it's these three ships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or was it? Yeah, it was these three ships that I think are causing the problem. And while it's a big disadvantage for one side, it's a huge advantage for the other.
Yep.
I mean, if you can leverage it, sweet.
But this map is so small. I mean, Nutbutter can literally just go to A if he wanted to. He's not. So
yeah.
I want to talk for a minute about Popeye's lineup because there are so many WTFs in there. I just don't get it. First of all, Iron Duke makes perfect sense. Great fire starting battleship at tier 5. AP is actually pretty good up close and personal. All around solid ship if you don't have a Julio. These are all press accounts. They have Julios.
They're press accounts, all but one.
So, but of course, they're taking a Marco Polo, which is Italian, therefore they can't take Giulio. Okay, let's move on to Vladivostok. Powerful guns, very good side armor. Sits someplace like I'm surprised he's not going for the channel in front of B, for example, right now, because you can absolutely hold down places. Unfortunately,
Turbits gets nailed by the Marco Polo.
Yep.
Sorry.
Unfortunately, it's got a very long bow. Scharnhorst makes perfect sense. Very maneuverable. Good guns. Lower caliber, but still good against tier 5, 6s, and can start lots of fires, torpedoes, secondaries, etc., etc. Narrow. I'm going to skip Marco Polo for a second. Texas. Why the hell do we have a Texas? A Texas?
America.
F no. Because this thing, let me tell you, is slow. It's got terrible main battery performance.
Marco Polo's gonna be dead.
And it just doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't belong. If you're gonna use the Texas, put it in the middle of the map or something. Just let him die peacefully. All right, now let's get to the real meat and potatoes of why I'm just Marco Polo. Now,
smoke.
Huh?
It's got smoke.
No, it doesn't. That's why Marco Polo is dumb.
It doesn't have smoke.
That's correct. They took the one. Well, there's 2 Italian battleships that don't have it, Marco Polo and Roma. We've seen both of them now in this tournament. Like, it doesn't have the damn smoke. Marco Polo has 16-inch guns. Okay, they're nice, big, beefy guns, and they can fire sap rounds. That's why you saw so much taken off of that Turpits, because that sap will just chew through all of that superstructure, which the Turpits has tons of. Marco Polo, strong side armor, much like the Russian battleships. But you can't show broadside. We saw him get slapped earlier.
Yeah, and just because you're the tier 9 doesn't give you license to dive into the cap.
No. Now, also, you saw that salvo on the Atlantico he fired off, and it did, like, nothing? I'm willing to bet he fired SAP. I didn't see the color. I'm willing to bet he fired SAP.
He's been firing nothing but sap.
Right into the armored belt of the Atlantico, which means all those shells freaking shatter. Yep, sap. And that was better, because the bow is a little bit less...
Belt. Yeah,
yep.
Upper belt, bow.
But he's dead right here.
He's dead.
So...
What did you get from that Marco Polo? You got 1 salvo on the Turpits and half of a tier 8.
That's right.
And the Vlad, I like the Vlad's actually in the
that's what I said to go.
Would be better here, but at least he's.
Yep.
The problem is the Atlantico now has angle, but
But Lennon has angle on him too, so he could pop forward and just end his life right now. He's not. He's backing up, and he's tunnel visioning on the Turpits in front of him.
Lennon? What Lennon?
Or the Vlad, I mean, sorry.
Vlad, yeah.
HE.
And firing HE.
All right. Well, we moved down 2 groups, and here we are.
It's a very Atlantico's gonna make the same mistake. You got that advantage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And just sit broadside to the Scharnhorst. Wow.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Okay.
All right. Go Texas. Go get him.
Yeah, I don't want to be in a situation where my game is won or lost by an Iron Duke, a Texas, and a Vlad.
At least the Iron Duke is capping.
Well, and I'm looking at TDF. The Julio and the Mutsu, they stayed back. They shot.
Mm-hmm.
Massachusetts is too far back for my liking, or based on where the Turpitz is at. The Turpitz is going to make a run. Oh, big hits on the Iron Duke. He's going to make a run to Torp. This is classic. He's making a Torp run.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't think that's what he's doing, you're wrong.
Well,
and realistically, you only do this when you're losing. There's really no need, because he's by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Mutsu's in the fight, firing AP on a bow and Vlad. That's not going to do much. Turpus is healing. Now the Vlad is going to ram him. That's a mistake.
AP from the Iron Duke almost kills him. And I agree with you.
Not going for Torps. He's
I
going
agree.
for the Torp.
He's the final Torp. Now, I agree with you. If he had just backed up in the Vlad.
And shot him.
He basically made the cardinal mistake that I see a lot of random players do, which is, well, this game is over. And he just sat there and let himself die.
I'm like, so in that situation where the 16,000 HP Turpitz is running at you,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're taking the shot up until the point where you think he's going to be turning, and you're holding it for that turn. And as soon as that turn starts, that's when you're gonna hit him, and you're guaranteed 12k. And you could take a Torp because you know it's coming. You put your bow in towards it, you know it's coming. Worst case scenario, you take 2.
Mm-hmm.
You also tell your team, shoot this guy, shoot him now, get him even lower, and you have the chance to get him before he even turns. Going forward and ramming him.
Yes.
You did the work. You did the work for him. At that point,
That's right.
You didn't even have to turn and Torp. I don't remember who won. It was TDF.
Yes. So if we screw something up, the quickest it's going to get fixed is in 2 minutes. All right. Since GP's not here, let's cover both lineups real quick.
I'm back.
All right. I'll handle green and what they should do because hilarity. And then you can take red. Sound good?
Sure. Yep.
All right. So in the initial deployment, you've got a Jean Bart and a Vlad, both of which are great bow on kind of denial ships, right? So I would probably put the Vlad up at A, and I might put him either up against the island north of A looking south, or I might put him in the island of A looking south, but not sideways like we've seen a lot of players do. Julio goes to the flank, goes to a 3-ish area, and goes for broadside shots. You've got the Jean Bart. I would do very similar thing with the Jean Bart over at the D cap. I might put him, on the small island, for example, up here at, what is this, Foxtrot 8, or maybe Foxtrot 9. The Texas, I would exactly do what he's doing, which is just go someplace safe. And pray he has better luck this time. And then the Gneisenau goes wherever the push side's going to be. So if they're going to push A, then the Gneisenau is going to be the center of that push with its torpedoes, with its secondaries, and with its main battery guns. Although I still think a Scharnhorst is a better choice than Gneis. But anyway.
Jesus Christ, man. That's a hell of a 20-second setup.
Well, you asked where each ship goes, and I don't,
It's fine. So for TDF, you have 2 secondary ships, as your big ships and your Atlantico.
Mm-hmm.
Tirpitz needs to go on kind of this inner island at A to provide a strong battleship secondary support. On the opposite mirror side is the Massachusetts. The Atlantico, because of where he spawned and because he has better island cover, actually is over here coming around A. I'm sending him out wide to get the cross shots.
Uh-huh.
The Mutsu and the Julio are going to be kind of ass facing A for the Mutsu, supporting with HE, the Tirpitz, and the Julio is doing the same for D. So you have two ships, your two secondary ships in the internal. So if they win a side, the one that wins can come up through the middle. Okay.
Mhm.
And if they have to, they can quickly react to support the other side. So you have your true strong secondary ships on the inside, and your Atlantico is your big hitter.
Okay.
And so we've done that. Zath and I have given strategies to both of them. Let's take a look at what they've done.
It feels like Popeye was listening to me, and TDF is like, hold my beer.
Yeah, TDF, they're it's gonna be shocking if TDF wins this because
Mm-hmm.
they've put everything to one side. And guess what? They've given up A.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Popeye has kind of quasi given up D.
Well, again, you've got the Texas. Why the hell are you bringing a Texas? Like,
Who was the guy who didn't exit Fairwind? It's the dude who doesn't speak English. You can't tell him no Texas.
Okay.
Yes, don't bring the Texas. Yes.
Right?
No, don't bring it. Yes.
Right. Oh, by the way, the Jean Bart is not secondary spec. That's interesting. I thought it would have been.
I mean, but your Jean Bart.
He even spec'd 3 points into anti-air. No, 5 points into anti-air.
Well, yeah, you want to kill spotter planes. Super.
Oh, goodness.
Well, what we have here,
Oh, and the Julio is a secondary spec.
despite both teams kind of putting all their eggs in one basket,
Mm-hmm.
you at least have the Texas that's kind of kiting away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's a mirror setup now, but on a weird diagonal.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen, oh god, this Texas is getting crushed. We see
Yeah.
this a lot. These teams want to fight a face-to-face bow-on battle of attrition. And
Yep.
you shouldn't do that, but if you do, then you win by not giving big shots away.
Yep.
And I think they both really like this because they're on one side, the other side's on the other, and they're all just bow into each other. This is
Mm-hmm.
now it's going to be a question of but TDF they're now lemming towards C.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have some kind of cross shot
there
and
we
not
go.
bring your Tirpitz across the center.
I love it. Both of these guys just torqued max range. Poor Gneisenau. Now, the choice to go Gneisenau, it's bigger guns than the Scharnhorst, but you pay for that with, I believe, reload, but also turret traverse. So, yeah.
I don't think turret traverse is going to be a big issue here, though.
But if you're
It's-
making positioning mistakes or enemy ships are popping up where you don't expect them to, I mean, that comes in very handy.
Well, and the Massachusetts for TDF and the Vlad for Popeye have been non-factors thus far, and they're just fighting a straight head-on battle.
Yep, here comes first blood, I think, for TDF.
Yeah, that's a Gneisenau for sure.
There it goes.
And the Texas is now bowing in.
And
to an
getting smacked.
Atlantico Tirpitz, and it's not gonna matter. And this is you're speed boosting forward as a Jean Bart into danger.
Why not?
This is the other big thing we see when pressured. People who are lower win rate
Mm-hmm.
go forward.
Yep. When you're not sure, you hit W.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, he's backing up now. This is like sort of the right thing to do. Unfortunately, everyone on his team that could help him has moved forward, and so he's by himself against the Tirpitz and an Atlantico. So he's gonna either get torped or die. The Julio gets himself into a 2v1 and he's dead. How TDF pulled this off, the world may never know, because that strategy was terrible.
It was terrible, but I mean, Texas.
Texas. I'm with you. All this, the HE firing Vlad.
Great ship for that. So, what can they bring instead of a Texas?
An English-speaking player. Communication valuable.
Jean Bart shooting HE into the side of the Tirpitz. And chat, by the way, caught up with my commander build comment and down with spotter planes. I agree.
It wasn't food being delivered. It's something for another member of my family that they're apparently afraid someone's going to steal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my chat's like, oh, GP got food delivered. No, I made a calzone. In fact, make my own good food. So, despite... And see, I hate when this happens, because if you're TDF, you're like, we won, and no one died, and so that was a good strategy. And it wasn't. I mean, you countered what Popeye did, and you ended up with just moving the spawns 90 degrees and ending up where you should have deployed had you just played the map. But then, rather than keeping a crossfire, the Tirpitz came across the center, and you just continued lemming into A.
How about this absolute Chad Vlad now stopping so he can get the cap? Because that's going to win this game.
Well, he's discovered AP. Let's see if he gets rewarded. See? Yeah, it does things. It's a Vlad. I mean, so even despite the ships these guys have selected, Zath and I have presented viable starting strategies, and you can see how what both of us were doing, we're taking into consideration, you know, what the strengths of the ships were, and the next move. So that's where you got to get with these teams. And the next move should not just be, let's all go together into the next cap. And you don't want to be in just a battle of attrition.
No, not at all.
Because we just watched a tier 9 lose to 2 ships bow on. And it's the battleship. It has higher DPM. It can kill any ship in a one-on-one fight, but he's not in a one-on-one fight.
No, unfortunately, having that Texas just prevents so much flexibility with that lineup. So anywhere on the map, they just can't go anywhere.
I mean, I still think if you put 3 players who knew what they were doing there, they could organize an offensive that could crush most of these teams, because you just trap them and hit them in broadside, and that's that. So there, the winner of that one was
Same
TDF.
people.
They should have not won that, but scratch your head. Okay, give them a deployment, Zath.
All right, which side do you want? You know what? This time, how about you take Popeye and I'll take TDF?
Okay, well, we're still bringing the you got the same concept, so we can use a similar thing. And you know how much I love AB. You have Massachusetts, Brandenburg. Those are your secondary ships. We're putting them on either side of one's going to short A.
Okay.
If you get into trouble, you can dive the big island, and one's going to short B right here. And if he gets into trouble, he can dive either island.
Now I can't see what you're talking about, so can you say which grid square?
Sure. Like E4, 5. So like short A is E4.
Yeah. No, that part I figured
short
out.
B is E. Oh, we're on the north, so he actually has to go lean more towards B.
Okay.
If you're on the south, you can do short A because of the island. Your wraparound, you can keep your Atlantico if you want to kind of keep him hidden for a little bit. you can bring him around this outside A, and he's going to be your cross shooter. And then the same concept, you're going to have your Texas looming somewhere in the C4 area, firing HE, supporting what's happening at A, and you're going to have to take your Normandy, who's your tier 6, and he's going to have to go ass in and just annoy C. He's going to go super wide, and he's going to shoot at C, and if they abandon C, if you find out early on that they're going heavy AB, then you're bringing him into Cap C, and he's going to live in these little islands and shoot. That's the first game plan.
Cool. All right, that's about a minute. Thank you.
Sorry.
That's all right. See. Anyways, as far as the TDF side, they've got. And by the way, did you notice no tier 9 for Popeye? They've brought 8s and 6 and 5.
I figured it out. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So TDF. What I would do is I would probably throw the Turpets short of AB on the south side, because the torpedoes and the flexibility that gives allows for an awful lot of maneuverability if needed to hit one side or the other. I would probably put the Massachusetts kind of short BC. Again, same idea. You got the other secondaries
Right
too.
here.
Mm-hmm. So that would be like Gulf 6-7 area.
Yeah. I'm
Yep.
highlighting on the map so people can see what you're talking about. Ignore me.
No worries. And then I would probably, let's see what's left. We've got the Atlantico. So the Atlantico, I would probably put whichever side they want to push on. So if they want to push C, the Atlantico goes over there and works with that other secondary battleship and makes a wedge together, right? As far as the remaining ships, you've got a Mutsu and a Giulio. So the Giulio goes with the side that's pushing. The Mutsu goes on the side that's going to hold. There you go.
Yeah, and it's the same kind, but they love this. Everyone goes and Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yep.
At least the Atlantico, but this is the one ship you don't want to be paused and anchored. It's an AP only firing battleship, and everything else is just going in tandem into sea. So where are your the only reason they're getting good value right now is because they're still sailing broadside. But this is low tier clan battle 101. The Atlantico pops out broadside.
Why not?
They're hitting shots. I'll give them that.
Absolutely.
They're punishing these shots.
Now, one thing I would actually probably disagree with you with your placement is the Texas. I would probably put it in that big island just because it's so protected that way. You can control when he's being shot at, essentially.
I'm not placing it based on the player. I'm placing it based on I want him there, so once we see what they're doing, you can adjust.
Fair.
And the Brandenburg now.
Look at Shaggy.
They love it. You just if we flip the map 90 degrees to the right. This is twice in a row. This has happened.
I mean, this is like Jutland. Just all follow the leader, and then all turn.
Well, and look, Brandenburg, he's got no support.
No,
And
because
the Vlad is not participating.
Nope. He's just living his best life
This is why they're losing.
on a world tour.
I mean, the Asian Rob and the Atlantico, he's at least stretching out where they're at. He's creating a crossfire, and that's why you're seeing, the most damage happening over there. And now at this point, he can hopefully heal up.
In 2 seconds.
The HE firing Vlad is irritating the crap out of me.
I mean, that probably would have gotten the kill on the Atlantico there. That shot, if it was AP. Shaggy's about to go down.
In 5 minutes.
There he goes.
I mean, they've crossed the T. TDF has crossed the T. A great strategy in real battleship fighting. But look, they all just want this bow-in battle of attrition. So comps to Asian Rob, he's at least
He's their
not
secret
doing
weapon, right? He's their secret weapon. He goes for the flank.
if I was playing on TDF, I wouldn't be where Asian Rob is now, but I would be in some similar like use this pack
Mm-hmm.
and be on the side of it and crush.
If
Like,
I was,
you want to heal up and wait for them to be broadside.
yep. If I was Asian Rob, I wouldn't be heading back into the fight like you said. I would be going along the IJ line, and just heading towards the 1 line, right? You want to get, like you said, on their side. You want them to forget that you exist.
You exist, and the Vlad appears to have a very short-term memory.
Yeah, well, he didn't get punished for it there.
Yeah. Texas. No.
Eh.
But see, now, because Asian Rob is here, now the Vlad is turning broad to the Massachusetts. So the Massachusetts has to turn left here
Mhm.
and catch him if he pushes forward. And when people panic, what do? They push forward.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes here and stops, then you push right in right here and you clip him.
Also, rip Texas. Oh my God, Breton would be better, but they have they have a Normandy, so they can't do that.
If you're Vlad, if this dude likes firing HE, stop putting him in a Vlad.
How about the what about the tier 5 Italian? You got SAP shells. You can just do that at least.
Eliminate the option for HE.
Right.
I mean, if all 5 battleships shoot HE, it's surprisingly effective.
Yep.
But only if they're firing at the same target. Okay.
Chad is
If I'm
pointing
the
out
Vlad-
that the Texas player has a different naming scheme, so might not
That's
be
his real
using
account.
right instead
Yeah,
of a
that's his
press
real
account.
account. Yeah. And this game is over. And
Oh, there
they're
you go,
gonna
Rob.
have all of their ships alive. MVP Asian Rob. He at least
Who is broadside and dying.
that's fine. And you know, they could be like, oh, you didn't get the Matsu got 2 kills, the Massachusetts got a kill, you died. He stretched them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Absolutely.
everyone else, the Matsu taking the back path is curious as well. You committed to the lemming for that long, why abandon it then?
Mm-hmm.
And it's you can beat teams that do the same thing as you, especially if the Vlad's going to be firing HE.
Oh, the disrespect, the
But you're not-
drive-by. Here it comes. And there it goes. that you know what happened there? Backup 27 zoomed in. He scoped in for the shot.
Oh, well, that's why the Matsu went backwards. And there you have it. TDF takes it in 3. GG's some lessons, though, for both the teams. And I hope... Oh, see, look, there's all sorts of people. Like, this guy wants to bring in a rental